Hey everybody, Mr. Bookyboo here. It has been a busy month and I've got a lot of cool stuff to show you. So let's get right to it. Come on, let's go. All right, so it is summertime. And so I've had a lot of stuff going on. My boys are home, so I'm spending a lot of time with them. But I've also found a little bit of time here and there to sneak in some Lego building. And I've kind of been all over the place with the building that I've been doing. So we're just going to start down the line and I'll kind of show you what's new and exciting in Bricksburg. So the very first thing, which you've seen some previews on Instagram, is right down here, this little area. So if you remember last time, I had built this mountain. I rebuilt the mountain. I initially had like kind of a modular mountain. And it looked kind of funny because it was a little too modular. I rebuilt this and came up with this was the end result, which I'm pretty happy with. But then I was kind of deciding, what am I going to do here? Now, if you remember, I had the fishing store here. I just felt it was a little too big, though. It didn't quite fit with the theme of the area, and just the model itself is a little out of scale compared to like the modulars. It's just a little too big. So I took it out, and instead what I'm doing, and you can kind of see on the angle here, is I'm actually doing a kind of a recreation of one of my favorite Lego castle sets, which came out in the original Lego Castle series, like the new stuff that came out, gosh, it was almost like probably like 10, 15 years, no, not really 15, probably like 10 or 12 years ago. The Crown Knights, and then they had the orcs and the dwarves and the skeletons, and from that theme, they had one set called Skeleton Attack, and it was actually the skeleton boat. It was a black like ship, kind of like a pirate ship, and it was attacking the Crowny dock with like these little towers, kind of like this, and it had a small inn, and then the other side it had like a catapult, and so that's kind of what I'm recreating in my own image over here. So we have like the dock, which kind of harkens back to pretty much that set almost identically. I've rebuilt the towers a little bit. I'm still doing a little bit of work here. I have to finish up the top parts, and especially in the middle here. And then, of course, the tavern right here, which is bigger and a little bit better. So it's got like a little more room inside there. Starting to add some tables. Also adding some decorations. I'm going to put some shields in there. I need to get a crowning shield in there for a throwback. But just kind of starting to work on that and just getting this area is coming together nicely. Now, I'm not quite sure. I haven't done much with Hogwarts. It's there. It's still in construction. I'm still working on the courtyard. I did add the little dock house at the bottom there. And I haven't figured out how I want to do the water. I'm thinking I might just want to dump. I have a ton of 1x2 trans light blue rounds. And I've kind of used that effect before. In fact, I used that when Hogwarts used to be over in the corner by Ninjago land. And so what I'm thinking is I may just dump them in here, just kind of build like a small barrier here to keep them from falling off the table, and just kind of dump them in there and see how that looks. What do you guys think? Should I do that? The other option is you could do 1x2 tiles. I've used a lot of those in Ninjago land, and they are kind of expensive, and this area is pretty massive, and it would cost a small fortune to tile it. But that's an option as well. Or I could just leave it with the blue studs, although that's kind of boring to me and it looks a little blah. I was planning to, definitely do something, especially since Hogwarts is actually floating on top of the tiles there. It's not tacked down. So let me know what you think. The Quidditch pitch, I haven't really done much there. That will be Quidditch. I have to build a small stadium. I haven't had a lot of time to do that, though, because I've been busy in other parts of the city, which I'm going to show you right now as we move down the line. So the main part of the city, kind of unchanged, pretty much the same old stuff. We've got a little bit here and there, little things I've done. I still haven't worked in this area. I need to work in that corner. I do have some ideas, and you guys were great giving me ideas. Thank you for that. One thing that I'm considering is doing this, maybe the Hogwarts train station that's in London, like a smaller version of that is kind of a facade back there. And that's actually kind of what I was laying out with these arches and stuff here. Maybe a small Diagon Alley. I don't know. I don't think I have enough room to do that, although that would look pretty cool as well. So I don't know. It's kind of in limbo still. But the rest of the city, you can see the facades are kind of shaping up pretty nicely. The front yard area is looking pretty good. Pretty happy with this, how this all turned out in here. This is pretty nice. And then of course this area, I love the transition in the middle. That worked out really well. One thing that I did do is I fleshed out that light bluish gray facade there. So actually I extended the walls on the side all the way back, so it's actually a little bit deeper than it was. It just kind of finishes it off nicely and makes it blend in a little bit better with the surrounding area. I still have to do a little, add people and stuff to the walkway on the top there, and I have to light up the corner garage too. But overall, like I say, I'm pretty happy with how things are shaping up in this area, this part of town. Here, aside from a few details and a little bit of sidewalk work down on the end there, this area is pretty much done. Pretty cool stuff. And then of course we have the shop for the trains to work on the trains, the overpass and the station. This area, this has been like I've kind of pushed everything down into here, all the junk. I'd like to kind of squeeze Avengers Tower in somewhere if I could. And I have 2 empty spots here, so what I was going to do is do like a kind of a construction scene, so like kind of like a modular under construction, so that when the next modular comes out, I'll be able to add that. But that's, you know, at least like what, 6 months out, 7 months out at this point. So I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot there right now. So I'm going to have 2 big empty spots there. I could do another custom modular, I suppose, and I've started a few in the past, but I just haven't had a lot of time to do that right now, or a lot of inspiration. As we move along, you just see real quick here the train station. I'm really happy with how that turned out. Simple, effective, pretty cool little design. And then of course we get to the more rural part of town, with the mountains, which really kind of caps off this whole, as you walk in the room, your eyes are kind of drawn in, and then they flow back to the mountain area here, which I really like. I really like how that effect has turned out. It's really cool. Now we're going to get into, actually I'm going to show you a close up of some of this other stuff. So I've done more tile work over here in the little skating arena. I finished off most of the tiling now, all the way to the coffee stand back there. So this area is getting under pretty much completed at this point, is what I'm trying to say. I still have to do work in the back corner there, although I do have the large trees. I want to add the lights back there for the park, and add a small park, and I have to add the pool for the waterfall. But again, it's pretty much coming together. Now, over here, this is the exciting stuff. This whole area I'm going to show you right now. So, as you know, it's summer, so new Lego sets have come out. One of the new themes is the Lego Space, Return of Lego Space, which, not like the classic space, which I really wish Lego would do, because I think that'd be awesome. But this is like the next best thing. And so they have these sets, and they're kind of inspired based on real life NASA like sets that are NASA things that NASA has done. And so I bought pretty much the whole wave because I just really loved it, and I thought it was awesome. And what I immediately did is, after I built the sets, is I tore them apart and I started kind of modifying and building my own. Now, the big set of this theme is the crawler transporter, and it comes with this really cool, like, it's supposed to be like a construction like hangar to work on your rovers and stuff. Now the official set is only basically like 2 doors and like some supporting work and no other like walls or anything. So what I've done is I've added my own walls and built it up. So it's actually a full structure now. So you can see it, the walls go all the way to the sides. There's walls in the back. The doors still slide open and closed, which is really cool. So you can actually slide them when they're not stuck. What are they stuck on here? There. So you can actually close the doors. And of course, the roof comes off relatively easily. And I can show you, let's see if I can show you inside. You can actually get a better look inside there. So I actually did a full interior. I'm still doing a little bit of work inside there. I have to do a little more tile work and stuff, but I've added a little bit of the detail so you can actually kind of see inside. Now, one thing I'd also like to do is I want to light these up so that at nighttime they really pop and you can actually see the detail inside better. But this right here is one of those new space sets that I've kind of modified and made a little bit better. The other one, which is hiding behind the big rocket here, is Mission Control. Now, same thing. So I took the basic set, fleshed it out. I added a ground floor. Now that's going to be like research labs and stuff. It's currently empty. I need to get in there and add that stuff. Again, I want to add lights though, so you can actually see in there. The new minifigure space pack, it's like the $40 set that comes with all the minifigures. Awesome set, super accessories. Some of that stuff is going to end up inside on the bottom floor here. And then of course you can see the mission control. So I made the mission control a lot bigger. I combined this set over here actually came with a small mission control kind of building. So I combined that with the mission control from the space rocket launch set and made this a big one inside there. So it's pretty well fleshed out. There's a lot more detail, a lot more stuff going on, and it just worked out pretty well. Now, in the foreground, the other thing that I've done is I've added a launch pad. This was actually a suggestion I got from someone online, which was awesome, because I was initially trying to lay out the hangar, the launch facility, and the rocket pad like over here. And they said, why don't you put it in front of the railroad tracks? And I was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. And so here is the result of that. I rebuilt the landing pad. The original pad was a little skimpy, but it was a pretty cool idea. And so I just kind of fleshed it out a little bit. I raised it up, added more structure around it. I'm adding some hoses and stuff so you can, make it look more like a rocket launch pad. And then of course the functionality of the pad is really cool, and that's still intact. And so when you lift the rocket off, the gantries swing out and open, kind of like how the Russian Soyuz spacecraft launches. And that's how the rocket takes off. Now, what I'll probably do in the near future is redesign this rocket, because I'm not too thrilled with how it looks. It's cool, but it's not like, whatever. So I'll probably make that a little bit better. Probably make the boosters a little bit taller. Maybe make it so you can attach maybe a better space capsule or something on the top. I don't know. We'll see. But really love the space theme. I'm really excited about it. This is a really cool theme. Highly recommend it. Pretty much all the sets are cool in the series. And I was excited that I was able to place it here, where this was originally going to be all wasteland. But it just kind of worked out nicely. So this is pretty cool. The wasteland looks like a wasteland still. It's pretty crazy back here. But that's because we've been working a lot in Ninjago land. So this here up front, the gate and the wall, I've actually completed now all the way back. You can see. And what I'm starting to do, so I took out that corner mountain that originally was if you remember, it was in the corner back here. I pulled that out and I'm actually rebuilding it now into like a full scale mountain, since mountain building seems to be like the thing I really like doing nowadays. I don't know. But basically it connects right up to where the wall hits the mountain, and then this mountain's going to tower up, and it's going to probably go, I don't know, up, up to somewhere around here in terms of height. And that's going to finish off this area really nicely. And then I'll be able to put Bricksburg somewhere kind of pretty much right where it is, pretty much. And then I will do some type of a separation between Bricksburg and the Space Center, probably like a gate, some kind of big fencing and stuff. Maybe, I don't know, maybe some trees or something just to block it off and create another view block right in this area. The bulk of the remaining work I've been doing over here, though, is in Ninjago land. So this, of course, the wall I finished off, the mountainside I'm working on, and then I've just been doing more water work in here, added more water behind. Over here, I've added a bunch more water, finishing off a lot of that. And then the other cool thing, and you can just kind of see the overview of Ninjago land real quick. So you get this kind of view. This is going to look good with a mountain towering behind the Temple of Air-Jitsu. And then you can just kind of see how it's all starting to come together. But the really cool part is over here, which you can't see from this angle. So I'm going to have to move. So I finally built the Chinese New Year set. And then I added that right here. Now I kind of modified it. There we go. So I made it a 2-story structure instead of a 1-story. And it was pretty large. Actually, it was on like a 16 by 16 plate. And then it actually is even bigger than that. And so what I've done is I've made it compact and made it fit into my area. And so that's what the end result that you see here. I still have a little bit of detail to add to it, but I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out so far. And it kind of frames this area nicely, because it actually, kind of blends in with the bookcase here. And then it also just kind of finishes that off and kind of frames this area. I still need to work beyond that. What I think I'm going to do is kind of follow this trend of like the wall design here and do that on top of the burps in the back corner there, which you can barely see behind the Destiny's Bounty, or in front of the Destiny's Bounty. So I'm going to add that just to kind of finish it off a little bit more. And then that's going to pretty much cover it. So it's pretty exciting stuff. A lot of things going on here. So I'll just pull back and give you the full, let's see here, kind of the full view of Ninjago land right now as it stands. It's I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out in here. And then again, beyond, you can see Bricksburg, which goes into the space launch facility. which then goes into the mountainside, and then the mountains, and then the start getting into the city proper, and then it all just kind of flows together as you go down the line. And then we'll just kind of back up, and you can kind of get the overview of the city as I back up a little bit more. It's a long room. It's a really long room. And we'll twist out here, see if I can not run in anything. And that kind of gives you the whole view all the way up to the tree line, and then of course with the Hogwarts right in front here. So you're greeted by Hogwarts as you walk in, and then you're kind of drawn in, and then you get this nice transition with the trees and the mountainside, and then you'll get this little like the old part of town if you want, with the castle and whatnot, and then boom, you go right into the main part of the city. So that's it for this month. Like I say, it's been busy, a lot of stuff going on. Do let me know what you think though I should do in this area here with the water. Should I do the 1x1 rounds? I think I'm going to start and try those, but unless you have another great idea, let me know. But I think that might be the way to go, but I'm not sure. And then we'll be back soon with another update and more from Bricksburg. Thanks for watching.